These statements, right? In the conditional statements, the operators we are going to use, that is if, else, and else if. These are used when you have more than one condition to solve any problem. Okay. And the priority is always you use the if statement at the very first. Whenever you want to start up your code, you use the if. Right? And then let's say if you have multiple options or you have multiple ways to complete up your codes, then you must be using if as well as elif, right? And else is not such like you have to use, right? It is not a compulsory one to use it. Like let's say if I say if x is equals to 5, I'm going to print true. So that is enough. If even if you don't write else, this will not impact your answers. Let's say you are checking for 10, so no output will be generated. That is the only thing, right? So that is difference. Like if you don't write any other statement, no output will be generated, right? So it is not a compulsory one. First of all, let's just understand that thing. Okay. Now, so if it is not equals to 10, right? Then what should be printed up there? Then it should be printed that false, right? Meanwhile, in between this true and false, if you want to check some other conditions, right? If you want to check some other conditions, so in that case, when you want to check some other conditions apart from your if statement, you must be using elif. Here you can check up your conditions. Now let's say your x is equals to 5. Okay, and you're getting the true result. So this true result is of, okay, let me write it as true 1. You're getting true 2. That is your elif x is equals to 5. Right. So we'll be doing some bit of problems so that we could understand how to find out the things. Hmm? Okay. Alright. So we did a, we started up the if, I think. Let's say uh, let's say you want to find the letter number of an alphabet. You want to determine some letter number of any alphabet. Uh, Simple program. Okay. So let's say if I take an input of any letter between A to Z from the user, and let the user input anything up there, right? So as the user inputs any character, any single character, what I'll do is I'll find this ordinal, right? Okay, so I will be finding this ordinal, or you can say the ASCII code of this C, right? And always I'll be every time whenever the new number will come or new character will come, I'll be doing minus with the ordinal of a and when they're doing plus 1. Why? Because the ORD function returns the ordinal number of the character, you can say the ASCII codes, right? So since it is necessary to find not the distance but the ordinal number of the letter in the alphabet, so we are using plus ones also, right? So the letters follow in some order, right? The ordinal numbers of the letters also follow some order. So by subtracting the character codes and is the main motto, you can say, for finding the distance, and then for adding one is to find the ordinal number. Okay. Now let's say uh, number is n. Let's say you write r. So 1 minute. A is okay. So r. So r comes at 18. Okay. Let's say for d. So d comes at 4. G. G comes at 7. In that manner, like you can find up the numbers of your codes, letters specifically. Okay. Moving. Let's say you have been given to find the total surface area of a cylinder, right? We'll be doing bit of problems so that we could understand how to solve up with this solve. So you are asked to find the total surface area of a cylinder. Well, an easy one, right? So there you have to use your math module basically. Why? Because we'll be needing some pi values, right? When it comes the total surface area, and whenever area comes like even if it is a cylinder, so obviously we'll be requiring this pi value. All right, you can do without the pi. If you write 3.14 by your own, you can write it there. So let's just take an input from the float of height. Okay, so it will be an height input. Similarly, we'll be taking up the radius input. Okay, so radius input has been done. So how many circles are there, right? What is the circles number in the cylinder? That is 2, right? So 2 bases are there exactly. That is the 2 circles you are having. So area of each would be 2 multiplied by let's say pi r square. Right? This would be the area because 2 bases are there. And the area of the side surface of a cylinder is 2 pi r. Sorry, 2 pi r h. It is 2 pi r h. Alright. So this will be the side, and this will be equals to 2 pi r h. Let's say the final area would be circles plus side, right? The final area will be the area of the base plus area of the side. Let's say our height is some 5.6. Let's say the big size 10, and our radius is 2.5. So area is 196.3 3, 4, 9, something there, right? But there is one more function, that is round. Now, if I use the round method, you can see the output, right? That is the whole output. But in case if I say that I am using round method and I'm saying the area should become and only the two numbers should become after the decimals. So in that case, even if you write let's say 2.5, so you'll be getting only to the two decimal things in the round. Okay, so that is how it is used. So if you write three, then three decimal after the numbers will be displayed after the three decimal points, right? And kind of that. Okay, fine. So that is how we calculate up the things. Let's say you want to find the sum of any three-digit numbers. How to find, right? How to find up the things. Let's say if I'm taking a random number and I'm saying n is equals to random. And you know random, what random does? It will be bringing up any of the numbers, right? Right? See, any particular number will be coming up there. Now, what to do? Multiply it by 900. Now you can see the outputs just coming like this, right? What are the things? That is, now every time it will be having a three-digit number there. Okay. Now, in the n, store only the integer of n, right? And then print the n. Now you are having this as your number, that is 453. Every time new number will be generated since it is a random and it can have the same values even. Now,
So
yes,
we used a round to round off the, how do we put in the parameters? The first two will be which uh, variable or which one, like area we wanted to round off, and then second parameter was to round off the two decimal values.
Yeah.
Is it that way?
Yeah. So you have a doubt on that?
I was just clarifying.
Okay. Fine. Yeah, it is working in that way only. All right. Okay. So this is your three-digit number, random number, right? So we need to find the sum of the 6 plus 5 plus 8, or like let's say 5 plus 1 plus 4, or anything, whatever it is coming. So 6 plus 3 plus 8. So what to do? We'll divide n by 100 first of all, right? So what is the value of a? Right, the integer division of this. Now in the b we'll say divide n by 100 and then find the modulus of percent n. And the b would be the second number. Okay, this would be 10. So b would be the second number, right? And c is being left, that is c mod, it's 10 as it's. That is your c, your third number, right? So that is how, if I just delete up this 1,
Sir, there was a doubt.
mm-hmm.
So actually, while I was doing MATLAB, there was a question that has come up that if you want to take a random matrix of 10 by 10 or 4 by 4 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then using conditional statement,
Hmm.
if you can go ahead that taking any two random values from the random matrix that was generated, and
Hmm.
then to calculate the area of the same, and if the value is less than 0, to get the absolute of that, and then uh, run a loop or something and generate, so that we can, the computer itself will generate a random matrix of 100 by 100 or 10 by 10, take two values randomly, get the area of the same, and similarly, it will do it for a certain number of times that we have that we want to run. So, if we want to get the same way in Python, do we need to go for any module, or we can just go normally by using
Okay, so you want to take the same random number what is there in your matrix.
Yes, I just wanted to know that the work that we want to do in the class, how are we going to do?
So
Because
what you can
that
do
was
is
really
in
fun.
your in your matrix you can find the maximum number what it is the maximum number and then the minimum number, right? And then you put the range of this in the random number, right? You write it as random dot random, and then you write first the minimum number, then the maximum number over there. Okay.
Okay.
So this will every time will give you a new number between that intervals only. Okay. So from here you'll be getting your intervals. Then next question, what it is?
I mean, create a matrix so that and take any two values from the matrix and create get the area of it. Get the area using that two values.
Okay, 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 fine.
Do we have to go through arrays, numpy and all, or directly we
Yeah,
can?
numpy array you can go on because that is very easy. If you want to build in the numpy array, it's very easy. Like let me just show you. It is like uh, let's just take any kind of one. Okay, so you can see this.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, And if you want to write a conditional statement to take any two values from the array and then get the area and then take another two values, run a for loop, are these all possible if
So you
that is
can take that C is equals to or when you apply for loop, so you can take for I in range of. So if you are taking range, you should start up with your 1 and you should end up with your 7, so that only you'll be getting 1 to 6 numbers, right? And then you can find whatever you want. So every time it will taking the numbers from 1 to 6, and that is always inside the parameters of this matrix, right?
okay.
Then you can find out the things, what are the areas respectively for the range value you want.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Okay, moving up. So, this is like how you can separate up the A, B, and C of the numbers, right? And after separating, we'll just copy it again and write it there. So these are the A, B, and C. So if you see A, B, what was your actual number? This is 368. And what is A, B, and C? This is 3, 6, and 8. Now it is very easy to find the sum of the numbers. That is A plus B plus C. That is 70. That's 3 plus 6 plus 8 is equal to 70. Now every time if a new number is generated, let's say if it is 915, then we can write up the things here and we'll be getting n 915 and ABC as 9, 1 and 5. And again your ABC would A plus B plus C would be 15. So this can be used to find up the things. Alright. a lot of methods, right? So if a digit is if we say that if digits are represented as symbols, right, and we need to find the difference and the sum between them. Let's say this is digit 1 written as 3, and this is digit 2 written as 8. Hmm? So first of all we need to find the ordinal of all these. And okay, and then we can find out the difference. So difference would be a minus b, and the sum, let's say this is a keyword, so sum would be a minus the ordinal of 0, because since this is a number, so we'll be starting up from 0. As in the digits we started, we were subtracting from this a, if you remember of the things, we were subtracting it from the a, and now it is a number, so we'll have to subtract it from the 0. Okay, so by this method we can find out the sum, and once all these things has been done, and print percent %s minus percent %s, and you can give it as equals to percent %d, and you can share the values of this all. So you can write the first percent %s could be d1, and your second could be d2, and then you want to show the difference. Similarly, you can apply this for the plus, and you can print def is not defined. Why? Alright. So 3 minus 8 equals minus 5, and 3 plus 8 equals 11. Right? So if a digit is represented, if a digit is represented by symbols, so let's say digit 1 is 3, that is C, and then we are having 8. So what is 8? H, right? So the sum between the 3 and 8 is 11. So if these are strings and you want to find the sum of them, right? So I say that you cannot operate some mathematics with the string. So you have to go with lot of procedures to find even the sum of your string if you are taking it there. So if it is a number, then it can be possible even to find the sum and difference and some very mathematical stuff like that.
So can't we directly change it to string to integer or string to so like by changing the data type instead of getting the
See,
ordinal number?
so let's say if this is a string, and you want an integer of this, you want like this. Got it?
So I mean why can't we go that way? Like instead of converting a is equal to ordinal of one, b is equal to ordinal of b2, we can go for a is equal to in
Yeah, if you want that
you won't have to write the statement of sum is a minus ordinal of plus b minus ordinal. We can directly go for a
like this you're asking, right? Yeah, you can go with that. I'm just showing a method of how.
Okay, okay, okay.
So you can even go with this all. These are easy ones, right? So more because this everyone can think of, right? And this is not everyone will be thinking of. So there are some ways. I'm giving you all the ways, like
Okay, yes.
what can be done, because anytime it could be asked, like if you want to find out what the ordinals, how you'll be doing. Moving on. Okay. So like that, lot of operations are there, right? Like calculate the duration of the years on the planets, or like that, right? So if and else and the conditionals plays a lot of important role. Okay. Let's say that you have a list of. Did we get this problem? I think no. Let's say you are loading a file on the web, okay, and you are given some formats, particular formats that you will be only uploading the file in the PNG format or in the JPG format or in the JPEG format or in the SVG format or what else is left? Something is missing GIF. So let's say you have been given a format, okay, right? And these are the formats in which only you will be uploading your file. Now ask the user for a file name. Let him input something. So file name could be right when he write any file name, what it is there, right? Even if you see your assignment folders, what is there after every file? Dot something over there, right? That is extension of the file. So he'll be writing up the extension. All right, and then what our work will be? Our work will be to split that. That is, whatever the input will come, we will be splitting it up. Let me go through the split function. Hmm, will go. See, actually, what happens when you split this up? This will be split up into two of the parts, right? It will be like from where you want to split, right? I'll give you right how. Let's just take this program first of all, or let's just say first let you explain. Let's say if I'm writing A B C D E, so I've given some spaces, and if I'm saying that I want to split it with respect to nothing, right? That is, I'm giving nothing up there, and just will run this. So it will split up the things according to the spaces because I've given nothing in this, right? No parameter has been given, no arguments have been given. So wherever there will be a space, it will split that string in substrings. Okay, and this is only a method in a string. So it will split that string in substrings. You can see A is there as a particular string, and then you have a gap, and then it is followed by B, and then it is followed by C, and then for D and E. Let's say just remove the gap between D and E. So here you can see D and E is now not separated. Okay, that is how split works. If I'm writing uh, www dot something dot co dot in, and I want to remove this dots, or I want to split the terms by dot. So you can see three different terms, that is www, co, and in over there. Right, that is how split works. So whatever the parameter you will be giving, that will be just faded off, and after fading, right, whatever the remain things left are there, that will be converted in some substrings. So if I'm saying that if I'm taking the user input and I'm going to split this up by this, so user will be giving any file name. Let's say there is some book on the PDF, so user will be giving any file name dot the extensions, and we are going to split it up by the dot. So what will happen? The book and PDF will be split it up. Now, in Python, you have indexings and slicings. Okay. So indexing and slicing means that when you find the numbers, let's say if I'm writing it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, anything over there, right? Let's say this is D and E equals to this all. So, what is the length of this D? How many numbers are there inside this D? That is 13 numbers are there, right? But what is the first number? So, for first number, I can't just write D of first. That will be the second number, right? So, what is the first number? First number is D of 0. So, in Python, from the left hand side, if you start finding the index numbers, you must always start up with the 0. That is, 0 is your first primary index number of any data types, right? So from 0 you'll be starting up and you'll be ending up till whatever the length of is there and minus 1 of that. Like the length is 13, so the last element would be d of 12. So that is fine if we just see up the things. Yeah. So even if you find the index number from the right hand side it will be minus 1. Sorry, d minus 1, d of minus 2, minus 3, like that, right? Like this you can find up the things. Now if I say that in this book.pdf.split, if this is coming, right, and I just say this to be y or u, so if I am saying that I want to print this u as well as the u of minus 1, so what that means, that is you are getting, right, and then the u of minus 1, that is the last element only, so that is pdf. Okay, so we will be doing up the same things here, right? So if
Sir,
mhm,
so if we split up a string, it is always converted into a tuple, is it?
not didn't get you.
I mean, if we are splitting a string,
Hmm.
then the final output that we are getting
Hmm.
will be like having many elements, not just one, because we have already split it up. So, what is it actually getting converted to? A list or a tuple?
List.
Okay.
So let's say this is your f name, right? That is exactly the file name you are going to take. Okay. Now after taking the file name, first you see if the length of your f name has got splitted, and if it is greater than equals to 2. Why? Because why this statement is written up there? Because if the length of the file name is not greater than 2, right? If the length of file name is not greater than 2, let's say you have uploaded one file that is book.pdf. Hmm? So, what is the length of this file? That is 8, right? That is 8. Okay. But if I say that I am going to split this, and even after this splitting up, if I see the length is still 1, then I will be not be going to process up, right? Because no spaces are here, so no splitting has been done, right? If I say one space, then I can see the splittings, right? So that is the only motto to find out the things. Let's say that if I'm writing, if the length there is greater, only if the length is greater than or equals to 2, then we are going to find the fname extensions. So fname extension would be the last element of f name and dot lower. So lower is to just convert, even if you are writing the cases in the capital one, will be converting everything in the lower case, right? And then if the f name extension, sorry, lies in this format, what are the formats you are. So if this lies in this format, that is if this extension is found in that format, then we are going to print upload successful, or else print loading failed. And here too, if the even the length is not, so if the file is not splitted up there, what you can write, failed to load file. like this. Run the program, write any file name. Let's say this is book.pdf. So uploading failed, right? And also do one thing, failed to load file. So let's say now you are saying book. So failed to load file this, and even you can write hmm. So let's say writing this. So what I got that failed to load this file, and this has no extension. So like you can take up the things. Okay. Hmm. So this file has no extension. But if the file is having extensions, and if it is not there in your format method, so if you see your format, let me bring your format again. So you only have the image file formats, right? And you are putting PDF, so that is not lying inside this. So obviously uploading will be failed. But if you use something that is there inside the format, then your uploading would be successful. So on various bases, on various circumstances, all these methods run actually. Let's say you have some usernames. Okay. Hmm, let's say you're having some of the usernames ABC, EFG. Okay, let's just take something good one. Or let's just take cricketers' names. Anything I'm just taking up randomly. Alright, let the say these are the usernames and these are some of the passwords. Okay, so let's just take some of the things. These are the usernames and the passwords. Cool. Now, so these usernames are for their respective Gmail IDs. So how a Gmail ID is, if I say this is MS Dhoni, this is MS Dhoni, and this is at the rate of gmail.com. So like this, it can be a Gmail ID, right? So it can be like this. Uh, but the username is always the split by the at the rate, and let this be x, and always what you get is the x of 0. That is the username, MS Dhoni. So what is exactly this x? That is MS Dhoni and gmail.com, right? If we just split it from at the rate. So let's say these are all the usernames and their respective passwords over there. Cool, that is great. Just quickly make a tabular thing of this all. I'm not making up there right now. We'll make it later. Okay, now, so let's say if a user is coming to log in, right? The user is trying to log in there. So what is necessary? Okay, right. So let's take the user input, or let's say when you are logging at Instagram. Hmm? You're logging at Instagram now. Welcome at Instagram. Or welcome to Instagram. All right. The first thing is choice. What you see, no, not choice. The very first thing is the login you see there, right? So let's just take user input, enter username, and what you do, you make a total for what happens actually, right? For MS Dhoni and all of them, will be making up one particular list for all of them, right? So let's say this is MS Dhoni. Once he have made his ID, we'll be having a set there. I'll be explaining you why I'm doing this all. Right. So first of all, hmm, a small program I'm giving you all. Okay. So let's say now we are taking any input username, right? And okay. So if your user lies in your username, so if the user is there, right? How you see the username is there, right? If it is there in your database, so let's say I'm having a database of all usernames I'm having till now, so I'm having only four, right? So if the user comes in the username, right, and always in Instagram, what you have, no spaces, no like mostly the things are in the lower cases. So I'm having everything in the lowercase. So what I do is, uh, so for my Instagram, right, like if I make an application, I'll always instruct everything usernames to be always in the lower cases. All right. So let's say dot lower, even if the user write in there. So if this user lies in this usernames, then we'll print welcome user. Very cool. Right, not going to, okay, 1 minute. Hmm. So if this lies in the username, then ask for the password as password, input password, right? Now if the password lies in the passwords, this is a raw program I'm making, right? Because passwords can be uh, taken from any one of them, right? So if the password belongs to this password, right, in that case you must be using a dictionary for that respective one, right? So if password belong to this passwords, then that is okay. We'll be going up with the printing. Welcome user. So if it is not equals, then the very first thing is print.
So what was that first that function that we used? What was that one?
Set. Yeah, I'll be explaining you. That is a data type you'll be learning in Python. So is moreover, if the username is even not found, you can write there invalid username. Hmm. Invalid username, right? Now, this is the basic program, right? Now, how it works exactly in real time, just give me an idea to you. there we import some date time. Or let's say import time. So if it welcomes the user before welcoming, what we will do is we will make some t equals to time dot local time, right? And since this Instagram is also built up in this Python, so it follows a lot of things there. So let's say if we are taking, we'll be reading of all these str of time and all. Okay, I'm just giving you an idea how you can make up your things. Yes, I think it's fine.
What are these and how do we know what
Mm-hmm.
how to go about this time? So it's time SDRS, time percentage edge,
Hmm.
which is
That is actually a string of time. Okay, there is str of time, strp of time. Okay, so
okay.
using this str of time, we can create a string representing a current time. Okay, right? The
Okay.
hour, the minute, and the second, like that. There are different formats. All right. See, so not print current time. What we'll do is, if the user is found there in that particular user said that is important. Oh, one. Hmm. User in the usernames. For this is so let's say this is for, okay, just giving to you for example, I'm going to run for MS Dhoni. So MS Dhoni dot add current time. Update. Hmm? So MS Dhoni will be updated with this set. Okay. Like even if you just take it with that perspective, let's see. And we'll print user. Now if it is an incorrect password, then again we'll be writing up things, but no welcoming would be there. Hmm? Oh well, let's just run this. Welcome to use Instagram. So I say that I'll be finding it for MS Dhoni, right? Cool. Asking for the passwords. What is the password? Is Riva? I think. Okay, Riva123. Should be spelling it up. So let's say I'm writing Ziva123. Time has no attribute of local time. Hmm. From when it started. Okay, okay. This is local time. And story. C1 3. And what is there? Okay, still up here is also is good. Yeah. So we got some incorrect passwords, right? So that is all about the program. So this is an incorrect password exactly. But what about this all T and T? What we have done there? So if you see all this MS Dhoni, AR Rahman and all. So what is MS Dhoni? So you could see something written up there inside this set, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, and something like this. So let me do one thing. Let me change this to list. And again run this MS Dhoni. Incorrect password. If I see MS Dhoni, I could see that there was a login attempt. That login attempt was failed at 10:7:58. Okay. Now again we'll be running up. This time for, let's say, AR Rahman. The password is MED Medley 12. Medley 12. So welcome AR Rahman. It's there, right? So AR Rahman is having nothing, right? Because we haven't extended any other things. So we'll see that in MS Dhoni itself. So in MS Dhoni we have another thing, that is login attempt successful at 10:8:26, right? So you can change them for that particular user, whatever the username you found, so that you can write the user dot extend, right? So in place of this, you can write there for user. So whatever the user will be there, you'll be extending up with that reference, right? Let's say for Virat Kohli and Anushka 1 2 3. Oh, sorry, you have to take the elements from there and then you can use for that reference. Hmm. So welcome has been given. Let's see for the Virat Kohli. So you can find the login attempt was successful at 10:9:43, and like that, right? So these are some of the methods you can use it there. Okay, cool. You have assignments for this too. For this conditionals, you have a good assignment there. You can practice up with this.